Hey everyone, I have a great video ahead for you. Today's game is a co-op press your luck kind of game for 1 to 5 players. This game was sent to me to review for you guys, so thank you very much for that. This game is Rescuing Robin Hood. Now in this game, you're trying to save dozens of villagers that have been captured by Sheriff Nottingham. And of course you're wondering, why isn't Robin Hood doing that? Well, Robin Hood himself has been captured by Sheriff of Nottingham. So I guess today's question is, do you have what it takes to rescue Robin Hood? Video. Why can't I get that? No. I'm gonna redo that. So before we start, my name is Krissy and this is my channel 2sheep1wheat, where we play board games and I review them. If there is a game missing that you would love to see, please like this video, comment what that game is down below, and be sure to subscribe to the channel so in case I make it, you will get to see it. So anyways, let's just go ahead and take a look at setup. And so setup will pretty much look like this. A few things, we have these tokens here. These are skill tokens that you'll use throughout the game. And then we also have these sheriff cards right here. These are the guards for Sheriff of Nottingham. Now both of these are different as in the difficulty level, and you'll be able to see those throughout the different days that this runs through. Then we have these villagers right here. These are different classes of villagers based on the color of medallion here: gold, silver, or bronze. Now there are other villagers, and these are starting villagers that you get, and so every player starts with 8 cards in their hand, and you'll be placing them face up. You'll shuffle these and place 4 face up in front of you at the beginning of your turn, just like that. So in this game, you're basically going to be fighting the guards for Sheriff of Nottingham because they have captured some of the villagers. Now, once you've won one of those battles and those captured villagers are free, you're going to be placing them in this tree right here. This is the major oak. And at the end of the game, you'll be able to add some of those villagers to your deck. Now, along with our starter villagers, we also have this attribute track right here. Now, as you can see on all of these characters here, they have some attributes, and you're going to be calculating all of these up along with your merry band leader here, and you're going to be calculating everything and just taking the correct number of all of them, and this is what you're going to be playing your game with. All of your battles are going to be based off of the attribute track right here. So this game plays over 5 days, and we're going to have some scenarios to set up, and those cards will be randomly drawn from all the different ones. We have 1 to 2 days, 3 and 4 days, and the last card is 5 days. So you redo the first card twice, you redo the second card twice, and then the final day, the 5th day, that is when things get real. You're going to be fighting to save your life. So those cards are set up right here, and they look like this. So 1 and 2 days, 3 and 4 days, and 5 days. Now they're all covered up, and once you're finished with the first and second day, then it comes off and you can move on to the 3rd and 4th day. Then the 5th day is when you're going to be fighting the Nottingham Castle, and eventually, as a bonus quest, maybe even be able to fight the Sheriff of Nottingham himself. So that is what those setups are, and this is what the Nottingham Castle looks like, and it is placed up there. And then of course Robin Hood has been captured, so he is with the shackles on here. And then Sheriff of Nottingham is there guarding everything to make sure things go as smoothly as possible. So that is basically how the setup is. Now let's go ahead and take a look at how we set up the scenario for the first day. So as you can see here, we have our setup. So it is a silver or a bronze villager, then we have a silver villager, and then we have our gold villager right here. So we have 3 blue guards here, 4 guards on the silver, and 8 blue guards on the gold. So you will be placing them 1, 2, and 3, just like that, and the last one always gets flipped over so that you know exactly, which one is coming out first, which one you have to fight, and then since it's separated like this, you know exactly how many you have to fight for the next one, depending on how you're going to be battling these guards. So, and then silver gets 4, and the gold gets 8. So those would get placed out like this. Same as the rest of them. These ones are always a little bit heavier or a little bit more guarded because these villagers, these gold ones here, they always have a lot better attributes here. So that is how the first scenario is set up. And then I guess we go on to who's going to be the first player. You get to choose who is the first player, and then you get to set yourself up for your battle, and then you move on to the battle. So basically the scenario setup is stage 1. Stage 2 is figuring out who's going to be the first player, and then you're going to be choosing the 4 first cards here that you have from your deck, and these are your band members. So you're going to be figuring out, you're going to be placing those right here in front of your attributes track right here, and then you're going to be adding all of these attributes up, and you're going to be marking them off on your track right here, so that once you go into battle, and you can subtract any number that you actually need to. Now, all of these different attributes, there are some player aids here that explain things. So this goes through the setup for day 1 through 5, and then this one right here that every player is going to receive, it is going to go over what the attributes are here. So this blue one here for book is wit. That'll allow you to attack 1 card in a row starting at the front. And wit will allow you to attack a row 1 card at a time starting from the front and working your way if you choose to continue on. Now, stealth will allow you to attack any revealed or unrevealed card in that row simultaneously. And brawn, you're going in full force, and you're going to be attacking all of the cards in the row simultaneously, and any of the extra brawn gets passed over to the next player. And then we have our jolliness right here. So this one is before attacking, you get to add +1 to your wit, stealth, or brawn. And any of these jolliness that is left over is also passed on to the next player. Unless, of course, you are the last player, then you don't have to do anything. So jolliness is basically a wild, and you can choose to use it for whichever other attribute that you want to. And then one other thing on these cards here, like little Agnes Daisy here, this one would get a cookery token, which is this one right here. So cookery is before attacking, add 2 wit, brawn, or stealth to any of the band, and then any unspent cookery becomes mead at the end of the round. Now mead, you can give any player 1 jolliness. And then if you have prayer here, this one, before attacking, use 1 prayer to shift a sheriff's guard to any position in any row, or if you have 2 prayers, then you can move 1 guard and just completely remove it from the game. And then we have scouting here, which is the horse, and before attacking, reveal any 2 of the sheriff's guards. So that is what the horse does, which is scouting. Any of those skill tokens that are not used by the end of your turn, except for the cookery token, which turns into mead, all of the other ones, the prayer and the scouting, is removed, and you'll have to acquire those again next turn or the next day. And sometimes your merry band member will also have some kind of benefit down here. Now there are some that don't have any. This one, Mode Lindsay here, you get 1 cookery and 1 scouting. Now if you look at some of the other ones here that I'll show, this one has nothing, Little John has nothing, Lady Christabel, when Lady Christabel uses cookery or mead, add +1 to the increasing attribute. So that one's not too bad either. This one gets you 2 prayer, and Much the Miller's Son. At the beginning of your turn, you may give 1 of your villagers to another player. They must give you 1 from their hand in return. And then Alan Adale is nothing, and Will Scarlet gets 1 scouting token here. And of course they all have different attributes on here. They usually only just have 1, unlike your starter villagers here will have multiple of them on there. So then we move on to phase 3. Phase 3 is your attack phase. Now each player can attack 2 times each before their turn is completed. But before attacking, you're going to have a planning phase, and in planning phase is when you're going to be able to use your jolliness however you would like to use them, or any of your skill tokens. So after you have gone through that phase, then you can go ahead and attack. So for my first battle, I'm going to go ahead and fight this top row right here with this bronze villager here. So I think that I'm going to go for wit, which is the blue book over here. I'm going to try for wit so I can attack 1 at a time. So I'm going to go ahead, and as long as these 3 villagers, or these 3 guards, sorry, aren't more than the 8 that I have here in my wit, then I would win the battle, and then I get to move on and do my second battle. So this guard is a 2 in wit. And another thing that you have to remember with this is that you have to place them back in the same order. So if you fail the battle, then another player would be able to fight them too, but they have to be placed in the same order just to make sure that the numbers are in the correct way, and we'll be able to do it. And I only have 8 in wit, so I think I would just stop there and potentially hit this one again afterwards. Yeah, so I would go ahead, because I used both of these, I fought these and I won, so they would go into a discard pile. And for my second battle, I have to use a different attribute than the first battle that I used. So for this one, I think I'm gonna go ahead and use stealth because it's my second highest one. But I am going to use all 4 of my jolliness here, which will bring me to 1, 2, 3, 4. So that'll bring me to 10. And I'm actually thinking about battling this one here instead, maybe another player. It's only me playing right now, but if this were a real game, I'm hoping that another player. And of course, because it is co-op, you're able to talk and communicate. So definitely take advantage of that. I'm going to show you what it is like doing this one and see if I can do it now. So I have 10 and I'm going to be using stealth. So stealth is attack any revealed or unrevealed card in the row simultaneously. Maybe I can use this right here. I think I'm going to use scouting, and this one will allow me to reveal any 2 sheriff's guards before attacking. So I'm going to go ahead and flip that one over, and this one. Well, it's looking pretty good for using my stealth here. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and do it. So this is 5 in total, and I'll flip this one, 6, 7, 8, and I have 10, so I would win that battle. So all of the guards would come off and go into the discard pile because they were defeated. And then the villager that I saved would go up into this oak tree here. And then at the end of the game, after every player has gone and battled twice, whatever villager that has been saved and is in the major oak location up there at the top, the first player will have first picks, and then anybody else can pick one until everybody has passed. And then we would refresh the scenarios and start all over again, whichever day that you're starting on next. And so cleanup would be the final stage, which is stage 5. So that is how you would play Rescuing Robin Hood and what it looks like, and just a few moves for you to see what it looks like. I really enjoyed this game. I was very surprised at how well it played, and also it's a pretty good looking game. If you look at the cards, these villagers here are all really very cartoony looking, but I really enjoyed playing with them. Definitely colorful and looks really good on the table. And they did such a good job with the names on here too, like this one, 𝗬𝗓𝗓𝗧. I was just looking at this and I was like, oh my gosh, did you notice the names on these characters here too? So 𝗬𝗓𝗓𝗧, which is who's on first, you know, from that skit. And then I think this one was the one that Nick noticed was Timber. You get it? He's Timber. I thought the names were pretty hilarious, so somebody had humor. Whoever did this had a lot of humor. I just wanted to touch on something too that I don't normally go over in my reviews because I'm not the one that actually reads the rule books to learn the game. That is Nick's job to do, and I just don't learn by reading the rule book. I usually learn by watching videos on it. However, this game was a Kickstarter last year, and all of the rules and all of the videos that I found were on the prototype copy and nothing really on this new retail version copy. So I bit the bullet. Nick was not home. He's been working a lot lately. So I read the rule book, and this rule book is actually really easy to understand and full of pictures, which is really how I learn. So I really enjoyed actually reading this rule book, and I had no problem at all learning how to play this game. So that's really good, and I'm glad that this was the rule book that I had to read, and this game was the game that I had to learn while Nick was away, because honestly they made the rule book really easy, and I like that. And then another thing that they did, which I've already shown you, is player aids, so you know what that means. Yes, plus 2 points. So rulebook, or the player aids, definitely helped out because it goes through the tokens here, the skilled tokens, and then it goes through all of the different attributes and what they mean and how you can use them. And then, of course, they added the first day, second day, third day, and fourth day, and all of the processes that you do during the days. So that really helped out too. So I'm glad that they included that with this game because I love player aids. Every game should have them. Regardless, I don't think there's a game out there that shouldn't have any. And that is something else that I really enjoyed about this game, is that every single day is different. It's not the scenario that is left out, and these aren't the only 3 villagers that you're trying to save. It goes on for 5 days. It's always a new villager. Anytime that you don't defeat the guards that have captured the villager, then the villager goes with Robin Hood, and they are now captured fully into the Nottingham Castle up at the top, and then the guards just go away. So, and then the scenario, the second day or third day, whichever day you're on, gets reset. You get all new guards, and you get, some of the days have benefits for you too. And I found that those really helped. There are some that are blank on there too. So it's just really nice that it's different every single day that you're playing, and the guards go away, but you do lose one of those villagers because they have been fully captured. So that was another thing that I really liked. And then once you get to that 5th day and you are trying to, so you don't have to defeat the Sheriff of Nottingham, but as a bonus, just to say that you did beat him, you have the choice to, you can. After you have defeated the 3rd row of guards, then you can try and attack the Sheriff of Nottingham. And then, of course, once you have rescued Robin Hood flips over, and then you can use his attributes for that battle too, which I thought was really cool. Really hard to do. We have not done it, not yet. I'm hoping that the more that we play, the more we can set ourselves up, and maybe more mead that we can collect. And there's so many opportunities and options that would help us and benefit us for battling with Sheriff of Nottingham and potentially winning. So we'll see. I'll let you guys know if that does happen. I'm hoping that it would, because it would be pretty cool, but definitely really hard. And because his benefit on here is that it gets +4 wit, brawn, and stealth for every imprisoned villager at the start of day 5. So if you're unable to help and rescue all of the villagers, and you have a couple sitting there with Robin Hood, you're in for it. You are not defeating the Sheriff of Nottingham at all. So best of luck. But then, of course, you can help another player too by giving them some of your attributes that you haven't used, like the brawn and the jolliness. So if you haven't used any of those, then yours gets passed on to the next player, and it would just benefit them, possibly because the 3rd row down here, which is the gold villagers here, that they are trying to protect or capture, but also protecting from you from battling them to get to it, because their attributes are really high on those gold cards. So being able to pass on your jolliness and your brawn to another player that potentially has a lot already would really just benefit battling that row off all in one battle, instead of having to do a second attack with it. And then, of course, if they can't do it, then they can pass anything on. But if you are unsuccessful with the specific attribute that you are using, you cannot pass that on to the next player, unfortunately. But of course, you failed the battle, so why should anybody benefit from that? So really cool. I enjoyed how the whole game really worked together, and all the nice little things that went along with it, which are the ones that I just mentioned. So I really enjoyed this game. I think the one thing that this game could have done with is maybe a dual layer board for the attribute track right here. I think it would have been, because some of the times, like, they slide around and you're not really sure which one it is. However, I did take a look at the Kickstarter page, and this is a much an upgrade from what it originally was, from just a small card size is what it looked like from these cards right here. So definitely an upgrade from it, a little bit more room for you to actually track all of your attributes. So at least we got that, but I definitely think a dual layer board would have been neat to see for that track right there. And I do have a link for the retail version for you if you wanted to take a look at it, maybe gather some more information on this game. I will have that link down below. And I even have a coupon code for you guys, which is this code right here. I'll have that in the description down below. And of course, this is not affiliated at all, but if you do use that code, you will get 10% off at that website if you're looking to purchase this game. And while I was checking out this website, I did take notice that they have an option for a small fee for a print and play version of this game. So anyway, that is everything on this game. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you next time.